We're about to have another Marion County Tournament semifinal come your way from Southport Fieldhouse on the ISC Sports Network. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. It is great to have you with us on this Friday night as we get ready to see the Pike Red Devils ranked number 5 in 4A in the AP poll with a record of 11-2, fourth in the IBCA poll. Get ready to take on the Lawrence Central Bears, who are 6-7. The winner of this moves on to play Lawrence North for the Marion County Tournament Championship tomorrow night. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Ed Martin Automotive Group. Ed Martin, the only name you need to know. By Lawrence Township Schools. Learn more about Lawrence excellence today at ltschools.org. And by LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing. Well, Jan, Pike, 11-2 so far, coached by Jeff Teague, who of course was a great high school basketball player at Pike, went on to play in the NBA, played a little bit of his time not far from here with the Indiana Pacers at one point. His first season at Pike, he went 6-17, and now, 2 years later, he's got a team that's 11-2 and trending in the right direction.
Yeah, a lot of these players were freshmen when he got here and has just continually got a little bit better. And 2 losses, one was in overtime to a very good Wisconsin Lutheran team. Then they lost to number 1 Fishers not many nights ago. So they've been battle tested. They are very good. They're big, powerful, and quick.
Now you look at Lawrence Central, they may be 6-7, but here's the thing, Jan. 6 of their 7 losses have been by less than 10 points.
Yeah.
They did have one 20-point loss, but the other losses for head coach Phil Washington's team, they've been very close and they've been right there.
Well said. 5 of the games were 4 points or less, so they've been right there. And the good news for them is they get DJ Summers back, and they needed some depth, and he's been out for about 4 games. They now have him back. That may be the piece of the puzzle that might get them over the hump. I seen them play against LN, and it was a 2-point ball game. They were with them the whole night. Didn't hit some free throws down the stretcher. That could have been different. So LC always plays tough. I'm looking forward to this one. Pike, very good. LC in their stride right now. They've won 2 in a row.
It is 11-2 Pike against 6-7 Lawrence Central, the Bears. And just to give you an idea of how tough Lawrence Central's schedule has been, their opponents' records to this point, 92-61. For Pikes, it's 79-52. So both these teams have played some very good competition. In the last 40 years, Pike has won 34 of the 50 meetings. So they've held the advantage in the series, and Lawrence Central won at the last meeting, which was December 20th of 2024, by a score of 78-74. So it's been a little over a year since Lawrence Central has played Pike in boys basketball. So Pike, one of the top 5 teams in the state in Class 4A, getting ready to play Lawrence Central. Pike is in the red jerseys, and they are introducing the starting lineup right now, which for Pike looks like this. It is Jahari Hill. It is also TJ Davis to go along with Kenneth Lampley III and Landon Lampley, a 6'6 sophomore forward. And the final starter is Isaiah Hill, a 6'11 junior center, 6'11", 7 foot. It's right there in that range. He is clearly very tall and a big factor. He is averaging 3 blocks a game to go along with his 8 points and 7 rebounds. Jahari Miller, 6'3 junior guard, leads the way for the Red Devils. 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per ball game. And the head coach, of course, Jeff Teague. His record, like I said, did not start off great. 6-17 in year 1, but now he is 29-29 as he has had his teams trending in the right direction. In year 2, he went 12-10. So if they win this game, they will have as many wins this season as they had all of last season. For the Lawrence Central Bears, that record of 6-7, they go with the starting lineup of Deron Harris, a 6-foot senior guard. He's averaging 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists a game. They also have Dillian Wright, a 6'1 senior guard. He's averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds. Also, Gavin Petty, 6'6 senior guard, averaging 12 points and 3 rebounds. We'll also get a look at Albert Gooden III, a 6'1 senior guard, averaging 7 points and 3 boards. And the final member of the LC starting lineup is Caleb Wells, a 6'5 senior guard, who is the second leading scorer on the team, 14 points and 4 rebounds a game. Lawrence Central scores 65 points a game and allows 62. Pike scores 69. They allow 56. Phil Washington, the head coach for Lawrence Central, who you see there looking very sharp, 30-27 in his third year as the Lawrence Central coach. He's 82-59 in his 7 years of coaching overall. There's the crowd. Some of them came here to watch the first game that we had earlier tonight. And it was Lawrence North taking down Park Tudor, and Pike wins the tip as Isaiah Hill sends that basketball back to Jahari Miller.
John, Pike inside, outside. LC going to be very aggressive defensively.
And right away, to your point, Jan, they go inside to Isaiah Hill, and he gets things started with a jump hook.
And I love that half hook. I've said that forever. That's an unblockable shot. And if they can do that, that's tough.
Pike settling back into his own defense, and Lawrence Central makes them pay with a tray from Gavin Petty.
Petty's an excellent player. He's a player that can hit that three on a consistent basis.
Lawrence Central has a lot of leadership that is older, 11 seniors on the roster. 3 juniors and a freshman, and the shot by Landon Lampley, blocked by Petty. Racing back the other way is Harris, and he threw it away as he ran out of real estate, tried to save it, but to the wrong guy. The first giveaway of the game goes to LC, and then we have our first foul of the game, way out high. Officials talk it over real quick, and they call this foul on Dillian Wright. That puts Jahari Miller at the line, and this is one guy you do not want at the line if you are Lawrence Central, because Miller shoots 84% on the season as he knocks down the first.
John, Pike, if you had a shot clock, it wouldn't matter. They don't waste much time finding a quick shot. They love to find an opening and put up a quick shot because they think are very good offensive rebounders.
Yep, Miller was fouled behind the line in the act of shooting. The Lawrence Central fans didn't like it, but it's 3 free throws for Miller. They shoot 49% from the field, does Pike, 39% from 3, and 67% at the line as a team.
Much like the last game, John, LC can ill afford to dig a deep hole here.
And that's blocked. So Albert Gooden took it right at Hill, and Hill swatted it out of play. It's funny to see him average 3 blocks a game, because there's been plenty of games this year where he's had well over 3. Bears trying to get it in, having trouble. Inbound gets tipped away and grabbed by Harris. Driving it over to Wells. Inside, back to Wells. Nice find.
Really good 2-man play. That's how you attack a really good team, is be patient, make Chris pass.
Good with a nice find there.
Good's a solid player. I like him.
He averages 3 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with his 7 points. Reverse layup doesn't go down from Lampley. And now Lawrence Central with a chance to regain the lead. In and out. Offensive rebound. Put back does not go by Gooden.
How much does a rim protector make a difference, John?
Huge.
It is huge, right?
Isaiah Hill just continues to grow, really flow there, and the drive in, and TJ Davis splashes in and scores. Then the other way, layup missed by Gooden. He thought he was fouled. The ball goes out of bounds, though, off of Pike. It stays with Lawrence Central.
And I like the fact that LC, while certainly they're a little undersized, is not shy, John, about taking it right at him.
Right to inbound, lobs it out to Petty with the drive. Petty leaving it for Harris, and Harris almost got it, and then Lampley the rebound off the miss. Miller for 3. Rebound chased down by Wright. There's Petty with a seam, then a double team at the rim, and he couldn't get it. It's almost like they baited him into the drive, and he drove right into it and missed. And then a nice drive around the defender for Jahari Miller. There's a reason he's averaging 16 a game. He's already got 5 in this one.
Mike is so well coached. They'll recognize if you don't get help.
And then Hill with a rejection. And another rejection. He averages 3 a game, like I said, but he's already got 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, Washington was begging for a goaltending. I don't think so. I think he clearly got that one on the way up.
Isaiah Hill just timing things up perfectly. There's a swat, and then the other swat, and just
difference maker. It really is. I don't think that it was even close, quite honestly. But it certainly doesn't hurt to argue your point. What he's trying to do there is make that referee aware that at some point in time tonight, I want to go in, right?
And then a miscommunication there off the inbound. Hill threw it to the wrong side, so they might try to get back on the same page after that.
Lightning fast start. We do it with you.
DJ Summers in for the first time for LC. Missed three by Petty. Hill the other way. Layup. Good by Landon Lampley. What a job there on the outlet pass, and Lampley did the rest.
John, Pike plays quick. I'm not sure LC can match that type. They need to be a little more methodical with the rim protectors from Pike.
And good, and is blocked again by Hill. Three, yes!
There you go. That's the shot that LC has to work for to get that wide open jumper. Really good start for both ball clubs.
And the block actually goes against Pike. Doesn't go in their favor. Rejected right back into the three-point shooting Deron Harris, who averages 16 a game and got his first triple right there. And the timeout called by Lawrence Central. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Ed Martin Automotive Group. When it comes to your next vehicle, Ed Martin is the only name you need to know. And Ed Martin is always proud to support both the Wildcats and the Bears.
Wow, just a really quick pace. We knew it had the potential to do that, but I think that favors Pike. Mentioned that because what it forces LC, John, when they play like that, they have a tendency to get out of control a little bit.
Look at Coach Phil Washington having a chat there with Albert Gooden III, telling him, here's what you got to do. You got to watch out for Hill. He's going to come after you. And he has really made an impact on this game so far. Miller goes flying up the floor around a defender, got it to Hill, who fell down, nearly turned it over, but Miller saved the day there. Miller attacking, scooping, scoring!
Wow. I talked to Greg Rexall, who's seen Pike many a times, and he has been so impressed with their offense, their consistency, and just how they attack the game.
Reverse layup by Summers doesn't go down. And then falling down is Lampley, and that gives the ball back to LC. They shoot it up, and they say the ball does not go, doesn't count.
Yeah,
it went through, but Deron Harris does the right job and attacks there. Draws. Did they call a foul? Or did they, oh, they did, yes. Okay.
Yeah, out of bounds. Called the foul on 12.
Lampley his first and the team's first. Driving, missing that. And I think they got, yep, that's Hill on that. So you know that's going to be a part of Lawrence Central's game plan, finding a way to try to get Hill in foul trouble. And Jeff Teague, the head coach for Pike, saying, Isaiah, you got to stay straight up.
Yeah.
You were leaning over.
And he's absolutely correct. Because of his length, if you bend at all, they're probably going to get you. So you've got to stay tall. And that's only his first foul, but Coach Teague is 1,000% correct.
So 2 fouls in the quarter on Pike. The free throw by Albert Gooden way short. He's not a great free throw shooter.
But I thought Gooden did a really good job of attacking the rim.
61% on the year, but he misses that. Rebound, however, by Caleb Wells, and kicked it out to Petty, who couldn't convert. So missed opportunity there for Lawrence Central. And a jab step, and TJ Davis is called for a travel.
Coach Teague not happy about that. He wants ball movement. A little too much dribbling, and you get yourself in trouble with turnovers, John, when you over dribble, pass and move.
Looks like Pike is going with the zone defense. Gooden lost the ball.
Yeah, just didn't get a handle on it. Turnover, Bears.
Pushing Miller. Miller takes it up, and he's fouled.
Wow, that's a great recognition. Lawrence Central didn't stop ball, and he wasted no time recognizing that, John. And Miller takes it. Look at this. Nobody stops the ball. You don't stop ball, offense to the rim. It's exactly what you do in practice.
DJ Summers picks that one up, his first. The second on LC in the quarter. Free throw made by Miller. Jahari Miller putting together a heck of a quarter here.
You know, you see Pike, John, with this 5-point lead. You can kind of get the feel if LC makes mistakes that this thing could kind of get out of their hands a little bit. It's important for them to play solid basketball, to just keep in stride, to keep it close, to have a shot at the end.
And Miller misses the second. Jeremiah Bellamy checks in for the first time for the Lawrence Central lineup.
Pike man-to-man, extending it way out.
From the corner, Wells. And Hill able to save it in play to Davis. Lobs it up and a dunk! What a play on the other side! As the dunk is flushed down by Landon Lampley.
Lampley timed that perfectly. Lampley, no small guy himself. They got him listed at 6'6", John. They got size and then some more.
Pike's now doubling up Lawrence Central. And another block by Hill. 5 blocks for Isaiah Hill in the first quarter. Slashing in, Petty leaves it for Bellamy.
Right there's what you got to do. You got to be patient, make the extra pass, get Hill to commit, then pass.
Miller in traffic, shoots and scores anyway.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
Jahari Miller with 10 points. And that is another block by Hill. 6 for him in quarter 1. 3 on the way. Yes!
Timeout, Pike, John. No, they didn't give it to him.
TJ Davis got that one, and Jeff Teague wanted the timeout. He's probably happy he didn't get it now, but also trying to make the point that, hey, when I'm calling for a timeout, give it to me. Pike fans going crazy here at Southport.
Rightfully so. Their team is flat out ignited and shut the door on LC. And there's another block. Are they going to get him?
Yeah, and that's a big call. Well, Isaiah Hill just got whistled for a second.
Well, that's what you do. You keep attacking. You're going to get some shots blocked. Sooner or later, though, you're going to get fouled 2 and 3. So it's early, so you can continue and should do that.
Jeremiah Bellamy, 6'4" junior. One of 3 juniors on the varsity roster.
I don't think Coach Washington had been in the ear of officials, and rightfully so. Guys, listen, we're getting bodied up. That's right or wrong. He's been feeding the officials that, and so anything that's really hard, they're going to get the foul.
Bellamy able to rim that one in. He's got 3. But Lawrence Central 1 of 4 at the free throw line to start this game. A 3 by Miller from the next county over, and it lips out. Harris pushing. Got his man in the air, way off on the shot. Hill the rebound. And Davis decides to slow it up here.
Pike just on a ferocious pace. They're on an 80-point pace.
Driving, making that one. Kenneth Lampley, the Lampley brothers getting it done.
I think they want to get Hill out of the game with 2 fouls. I would with 50 seconds.
That's on Caleb Wells, his first and the team's 3rd. Yeah, they're keeping Hill in the game, though.
I don't think Macon was coming for.
And the free throw, though, off the mark from Kenneth Lampley.
If I'm an LC, I go right at Hill. Right now, he's got 2 fouls. Go right at him. Try to get that 3rd foul.
Out high Wells. He gets a screen from Petty. He drives right at him, but he travels. Yeah, he didn't quite get to Hill. Instead, he drove right at Timothy Smith, or rather, Landon Lampley. And now Hill's coming out of the game.
Yeah, so right thing to do. A little extra rest, and you don't want to pick up the 3rd foul here in the first period.
Isaiah Hill, 2 points and 6 blocks in this game so far.
That's a bunch.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a player have that many blocks in 1 quarter. Slashing to the basket.
That's too easy. LC didn't get backside help at all. Pike just dribbled coast to coast and laid it in.
Harris on the attack. Harris trying to create separation. There isn't any. And then a traveling violation on DJ Summers, the 3rd giveaway by Lawrence Central.
See, I was talking about it. The pace is just really Pike oriented. LC doesn't play well at that pace, and they start to get in turnover territory.
Yep. Inbound to Miller. He's got 7 seconds to work with. Miller drives in, stripped, but fouled on the arm. There's 2.8 seconds left in the quarter. Till.
Pike is so quick, and if you don't get some help or stop ball, they're just going to take it to the rim because they got size, they got quickness, all the things you need for them to finish near the rim. So in order to stop that, first and foremost, you stop ball. Second of all, you get some help. That's where you got to communicate, John.
DJ Summers has to be careful. He's got 2 fouls now. Inbound, 3 on the way. Might have been some contact. No call, though. It's a shot by Kenneth Lampley offline. But what a start to the game for the Pike Red Devils as they lead this 25-11 as we head into the second on the ISC Sports Network.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing Crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
The Pike Red Devils got 6 blocks out of Isaiah Hill in the first quarter. He did get called for 2 fouls. He's back in the lineup to start the second. And these are just 2-on-1 sequence, but he just was a problem for any Lawrence Central player that was driving right at him. And now Lawrence Central's facing an uphill battle here in the Marion County Tournament semifinals in South.
6 block shots equal potentially 12 points.
Lawrence Central trying to slow things down a little bit, but things could get away from them in a hurry, but they get a foul in their favor here to start the second. And that one is tabbed against Aiden Woods, a 5'10 junior who just came into the game. Didn't play at all in the first quarter. Wright swings it left to Ty Ferguson, a 6-foot junior, in for the first time as well. Back to the other side. Wright misfires.
I like that shot.
Rebound.
I like that shot a lot. Thought it was a good shot by LC, John.
Maybe they try that again. The driving at Hill hasn't exactly netted the results they've wanted. Petty lets it go. And over the top. Hill was bodied up inside, though. And they call this one on. Okay, Jeremiah Bellamy picks that one up. First.
I'm not sure LC wanted that shot. That was 25 feet. You can get that shot any day of the week.
We always are good for one Jan Bozer comment like that a game. You can get that shot anytime. No, but it's true though. You're right. You're so right. You get that shot anytime. Be patient. I know there's no shot clock, but working around to 5.
You're down 14. You don't want to waste a possession. You got 2 fouls on the big guy. I'm taking my time and try to get the 3rd foul. He sets down.
Coach Phil Washington of Lawrence Central not happy about something. He was having a conversation with the official. Drive. What a move by Washington, but he couldn't finish. Lobs it in. Here's Stevens.
There you go.
And Dayton Stevens.
Oh, he's going to get technical. Yeah, well, you don't do that. I don't know what he said, but the referee's right there, and that serves no purpose because you make a 3, now you get a technical, that's a personal. That just, you just don't do that. Just play the game.
Yep, and Dayton Stevens, the bad part about that is he just came into the game. He makes a big impact, knocks down the triple, and then tries to taunt the bench. I mean, that's, you might think on one hand that's not much, but let's be honest, officials are making that a point of emphasis at every level of basketball. So Stevens comes out.
I agree with the official, but here's what you don't want. You let that go, who do you call for doing that?
Right.
So you stop it early, and stuff like that are why things get out of hand sometimes. The official absolutely, I think, made the right decision called there. It's just not necessary. Play ball, play hard.
And then Caleb Wells has to come back in for Lawrence Central. Stevens takes the seat right after coming in. Miller hits both free throws, so now he's got 12. Sorry, he hit the free throw to give him.
They're so quick to the rim.
And then he scores a layup out of all that.
Pike
My
is,
gosh.
Pike is as quick once they see a seam as any team I've seen this year.
Hill blocks it. I mean, how many times is Isaiah Hill going to reject Albert Gooden?
Right.
It's happened several times.
He's got a ball fake. See if he can remotely get him off his feet, and then kind of lead into him and go up strong and see if he can sell a foul. But you're not going to get that call from the official if you go up light or don't use your legs or body at all. You're not going to get a call.
Ian Macon stripped it out of bounds, but it was off of Macon. Stays with Lawrence Central. Gooden to play it in. Miscommunication. And was it? Wow, very smart play there by Wells to block off Aiden Woods, and Woods touches it last. So Lawrence Central keeps possession. Coach Phil Washington trying to find any lineup right now for his Lawrence Central Bears that works. The ball reversed back to Wells. Inside, this is Gooden taking it right at Hill, and another block. That's 8 of them. Leads to a run out and a layup for the Red Devils.
They make you pay, don't they, John?
Colin Washington, one of the Pike reserves, converts that layup. 2 minutes and change have gone by here in the second. In the corner, Harris. No, they got to get him going. Rebound, Miller. Washington again, blocked by Wells, and then the dunk by Isaiah Hill. Using that long wingspan and frame of his. Lawrence Central really in trouble. Ty Ferguson tried a three earlier, didn't get it. Jump off in, floater does not go from Harris. Rebound cleared by Miller. On the attack he goes with 12, trying to add to his point total, and does! Jahari Miller!
Oh my goodness, you talking about playing on all 12 cylinders. Pike is that team right now.
I mean, the cylinders are so afraid of Pike firing them. That is how on point this Pike offense is, inside and out. Hill blocking shots inside. Jahari Miller knocking down pretty much everything else. And then TJ Davis has been solid. The bench players are contributing. It is, what a time to be alive for the Pike Red Devils. Today's game brought to you by Blessed by the Game Sportswear, which provides custom team uniforms for schools, youth leagues, and travel sports organizations, as well as corporate apparel designed to elevate brand identity with a clean, polished, and professional look. Reach out to Ken Beverly or Ron Rutland Jr. today for more information at 317-589-4764.
Well, when you're inside dominant and you're outside dominant, that kind of equates to being pretty tough to beat, right?
Yeah. Inside dominant versus plus outside dominant equals everything dominant. And it's so valuable for Pike High School to have Jeff Teague as their coach, because he was such a, when he played in the NBA, he was such a rhythm player. When he got in rhythm and he was knocking down shots or he could make plays for his teammates, he was so tough to guard. And he's instilling that in these Pike basketball players. And they are really doing everything he's asking and then some.
And they have a level of quickness that's just unmatched. Maybe LN, that we'll see.
Right.
A lot of work to be done here, yeah, but wow, two teams that are incredibly quick.
And what a night for Lawrence Township if that happens, as Jahari Miller intercepts that pass. Doesn't get the shot to go down, but that is the fourth turnover on Lawrence Central.
I think that thing is partially blocked.
Stevens is back in the game, and he is collided with. And I think they get this foul here on Aiden Woods, who's trying to say that Stevens was pushing off, but Aiden Woods just picked up his second. That's the second in the quarter on Pike.
Wow, it went from like a 10-point lead, and man, they kicked in another gear, and it is now a 21-point lead.
Well, it was 25-11 at the end of the first quarter. Now it's 10-3. Pike has outscored Lawrence Central so far in the second. Ferguson to inbound, got it into Stevens, shot over Hill, yes.
Good patience, good shot selection, good patience. You hear me say that a lot, but it is so important when you're playing a team with a rim protector and the caliber of athleticism like Pike.
This is a tray by Lampley, nowhere close. Rebound dug out of there by Harris. Weaving his way through traffic is Dooley. Now Stevens again. He's feeling some confidence, but misses that shot. And Hill goes right to the basket to grab the rebound. Davis now. Crossover dribble. Sending it out to Lampley. Double team comes. Davis a three. Strong offensive rebound. Lampley then had it taken away by Stevens. Only the third turnover on Pike. Stevens again misfires that time. Saved, but unfortunately for Lawrence Central, right to Lampley.
Lampley, for as big as he is, John, handles the ball really well.
Tray by Lampley does not go down. Rebound fought for as Ferguson gets tangled up with Miller. Jump ball, possession arrow is with Pike.
Man, Pike just brings the length and the size and the speed. Is there anything they don't have?
Right, and they're getting all sorts of breaks too. Like right there, there's this arrow going their way. DJ Summers back into the Lawrence Central lineup as Deron Harris sits. So now, I mean, Lawrence Central in the same position that Park Tudor was in the game before this. Just got to try to get it below around 10 if you can, but they just can't seem to stop anybody. Landon Lampley nearly had his way and got the three-point play, but missed it, so he's got two shots coming. And they call this one on Caden Dooley, 5'7" senior. I mean, I think that Phil Washington, the head coach for the Bears, has played almost everybody off of his bench. He's trying to go with anything and everything as Lampley makes that free throw. 63% free throw shooter on the year. A 15-point per game average to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 steals. Got them both. So Lampley's got 6, and the lead is 21. Coming up on 3 minutes left in the second. Ferguson. And right as he drove in, a whistle, and what do we have?
Push.
And that is on TJ Davis. It's his first. And now both teams have picked up 3 fouls in the quarter. Free throws would be badly needed, especially for Lawrence Central. You'd love to get shots from the line with the clock stopped. That has not been easy to come by. 3 ball by Dooley, and he got it. That gives the Bear fans on the far side of the field house something positive to cheer about. Trims the lead down to 18. Miller, some nifty footwork. Got around Ferguson, lobs it, trying to get it to Hill. Hill saying he was pushed, but no call. Ferguson, Stevens. Yes!
That's huge. Great offense by LC. Good spacing. I told you, I've always seen, and even when they dig a hole, they never stop scratching and clawing.
5-0 spurt by Lawrence Central to cut it to 16. And then a reach-in foul called on DJ Summers.
John, look at this front line of Pike. 6'11", 6'6", 6'6". Haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty, that's, and then they shoot it, they dribble it well.
This is one of their taller lineups right here.
Yeah. And Lawrence Central just does not have that kind of height. They don't. And Summers has to check out because DJ Summers picked up his 3rd foul. Lob comes in off the inbound to Lampley, and Lampley leans in and couldn't get it. Rebound by Dooley. Now on the other side, Goodham, and right as he got it to Dooley, was he pushed? I believe so. That foul is on T.J. Davis, and that's Davis' second. So both teams are now at the foul limit in the period. Colin Washington, who I guess goes by Bo, so Bo Washington checks in.
Yeah, he does.
Averages 7 points a game off the bench for Pike, and then Lawrence Central, and now it's almost like Pike's defense is extending out to the perimeter and causing all kinds of problems there.
Yeah, that's a good observation. And with that quickness, it can hurt you if you let it, but you can't dribble against it, I can tell you that.
Down to 140 left in the half. Miller almost had it taken away by Ferguson. Good defense by Ferguson there. 3 on the other side, goes down for Washington.
And Pike on an 80-point direction right now here at halftime.
Dooley tries to answer, misfires on the 3, and motoring through the lane, Landon Lampley.
Lampley literally goes rim to rim, nobody stops him. He handles the ball for a 6'6" guy really well.
Yeah. And it's almost like it's just a flash. Him running down the floor is just a flash. It's so hard to stop. Stevens around, they find Wells, and Wells gives Lawrence Central a much-needed bucket. Caleb Wells has 5. The lead is down to 18. Miller. Yeah, Miller, I mean, so much as we've seen with Hill and his blocks, but Miller deserves credit, and so does Kenneth Lampley.
Boy, that's a pretty move. Didn't finish. It went from one side of the rim to the other. Didn't get the bounce.
Something tells me he tries that again, he might get it next time. Ferguson, guarded by Lampley, tries to get around him. Stevens, back to Ferguson. That Pike defense really extending. Hill trying to guard Gooden. Stevens with 5 seconds, got to get rid of it, and he travels. I mean, now it's like Lawrence Central thought they'd start to get 3s, and Pike is saying, we're not letting you do that.
You made that point earlier. They extended that length. It's hard to shoot over it.
Miller, 2-1, lost it, taken away by Stevens, and that does the half. But wow, what an outburst offensively by the Pike Red Devils. They are on the doorstep of going to the Marion County Tournament Championship game against their rival, Lawrence North, tomorrow night. If they put together another half like that, they'll be there. Back with more at halftime on the ISD Sports Network.
In Lawrence Township, the choice is clear. From NACE-accredited early learning centers to comprehensive elementary programming built to support literacy, language, community, and STEM. A 96% graduation rate, with students engaged in pathways preparing for success in college, career, or military service. 50 state championships and 7 national titles. In the classroom, the court, or on the stage, we produce winners. The choice is clear. Make LT your district of destination.
Well, we're at halftime at Southport Fieldhouse, Marion County Tournament Semifinal, and the Pike Red Devils showing every bit why they are 11-2 on the year. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick, and Jan, I think a lot of people watching this game right now are going, how in the world did Pike lose 2 games?
Yeah.
With how many weapons they have and what pressure they put on you, it's amazing to see what they've been able to do.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, one of those losses to number 1 Fisher, so, it is what it is. So they still have to be defeated. That would be interesting if they ever got and played game number 2. And I think the other piece of this, Pike has continued, got better even after that loss. They're playing at such an incredible high level. The bench is good. 6'11", 6'6", 6'6" front line. Quickness at the guard spot. They don't have many weaknesses.
Yep, they really don't. And one of the reasons why they don't is because they can get it done inside and outside. They already score 69 points a game and already have 42 in the first half. So they continue on this stretch. They are going to find a way to really eclipse that and more.
Yeah, and it's the thing about it, LC has not played that poorly. The rim protector has really disturbed their offense, but they've scratched and clawed, kind of made a little movement, but man, with that much muscle, it's really exposing not just LC, but a lot of teams they play.
First half points in this one. Jahari Miller, 15. TJ Davis has 7. 8 for Landon Lamley for Pike. 5 for Colin Washington. 2 for Kenneth Lampley. And 4 for Isaiah Hill. But Isaiah Hill also has 8 blocks in that first half to go along with his 4 points. But he's also battling foul trouble. He's got 2 fouls, so he'll have to be careful in the second half. For the Lawrence Central Bears, they were led by Dayton Stevens, who came off the bench and scored 7. 5 for Caleb Wells, 3 points each for Duran Harris, Caden Dooley, Gavin Petty, and Jeremiah Bellamy. But here's the thing, Jan. Gavin Petty averages 12 a game. Duran Harris averages 16. But they each only have 3 points. So, yes, Lawrence Central does need to defend a little bit better, but also if they don't score and if their scorers don't do what they're, taught to do best, it's going to be a long second half.
Yeah, no question. And obviously Pike's defense is a big part of them not doing or being able to do what they want to do. It's a smothering, very high, very lengthy, rim protecting type defense. Those are the tough times. And they've added, you talked about earlier, if you'll remember in that first half, they extended their guard pressure to take away the 3. So what do? You can't get inside. You can't get open outside. I'd say that defense by Pike's tough.
It sure is. 42-24. Here's how both of these teams got to this point. Pike was able to win their first game in the tournament over Brebeuf, 57-50. And then they won their second game over Decatur Central earlier this week on Wednesday, 66-54. As for Lawrence Central, they started off their Marion County tournament beating Beech Grove 60-48 and then winning over Ben Davis in a thriller 71-69 to get to this point. But the winner of this game moves on to play Lawrence North for the Marion County Tournament Championship because Lawrence North beat Park Tudor earlier tonight 61-48. Of course, if you miss any of these games, be sure to go back to ISCSportsNetwork.com or download the ISC Sports Network app, and that's where you can find these games not only live and when they're happening, but also you can go back and watch them later. A great app and a great service to use there. When we come back, we'll have second half action from Southport Fieldhouse. All Pike in this one as they lead it 42-24. You're watching the Marion County Tournament on the ISC Sports Network.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
First half highlights in this one. What an impressive performance by Pike. Isaiah Hill started off the game with that jump hook, Jan, but and then LC kept it close with some perimeter shooting, but then Isaiah Hill took over. It was a block party from him. And then the creativity on offense by the rest of the guys, led by Jahari Miller, really stepped up there for the Red Devils.
Yeah, I thought Isaiah started out remember that little half hook, got the offense flowing early. Really psychologically to LC, they go, man, how are we going to stop that? So they start really intensifying, trying to figure out how to defend him, then kind of back out, and then, man, here comes the 3 from Pike. So that inside to outside type game by Pike was certainly on cue for half number 1.
And both teams got a lot of their reserve players in. There's TJ Davis attacking. He had a nice first half with 7 points. And then probably the biggest spark for Lawrence Central was Dayton Stevens. He had 7 off the bench. He did have that one unfortunate technical foul called, but he's been a big part of their offense, and they need the starters to get going a little bit more. But it was a 42-24 lead there for Pike at the half, and they outscored them 17-13 in the second quarter. We'll take a brief 30-second timeout, and when we come back, second half action here from Southport as the Pike Red Devils looking quite impressive on the ISC Sports Network.
In Lawrence Township, the choice is clear. From NACE-accredited early learning centers to comprehensive elementary programming built to support literacy, language, community, and STEM. A 96% graduation rate, with students engaged in pathways preparing for success in college, career, or military service. 50 state championships and 7 national titles. In the classroom, the court, or on the stage, we produce winners. The choice is clear. Make LT your district of destination.
Southport Fieldhouse, the site for the finals and the semifinals of the Marion County Basketball Tournament. The final game will be played tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Of course, Greg Rakestraw and Mike Broughton will have that one for you. I'm John Herrick along with Jan. You're Jan. I'm John.
I've always wanted to be John, so it's okay.
No, you don't. You're Jan Bozer. I'm John Herrick, and we have been watching some great basketball here tonight. And Jan, for those who don't know, we talked a little bit about it in the first game, what a historic venue. I love how at the Marion County Tournament we have these games at all sorts of great high schools across the county, but it's kind of fitting that it concludes here at Southport with such a wonderful history and tradition here.
Yeah, and we've actually got a decent crowd in for the semifinals. Pack this place tomorrow night. I'd love to see this packed. If you can, it'll certainly be on My Indy TV and the ISC network. And, you know, depending on who ends up right now, obviously it looks like Pike, but it still has to be played, so you don't pencil them in until they win it. Regardless who plays, it should be a really, really good final, Marion County final.
Yeah, it will be. And Saturday nights here at the Fieldhouse have always been packed. Weather not great today, I'll be honest. It was not fun to travel in it, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. And might get a little snow tomorrow too, who knows, but
I've got a cure for that.
Oh, you do?
Leave early.
Yeah, that's true.
I left 2 hours early, and it paid dividends because 465 on 5 o'clock from my end of the state is never a good thing, and I'm glad I did.
Yep. Always a good idea this time of year. Leave early, give yourself plenty of time to reach your destination. You never know what the Indiana weather has in store. The Pike starters tonight were Jahari Miller, TJ Davis, Kenneth Lampley, Landon Lampley, and Isaiah Hill. Those guys did a lot of the scoring, but they also got contributions as well from Colin Washington, and but it was mainly the starters who really got it done. In fact, it was different for Lawrence Central. It was a reserve off the bench and Dayton Stevens who really got them going, but they're going to need their horses to bring them here.
John, it's going to be important. If LC has a shot, they got to get off to a good start.
Yep.
They've got to get this thing down around. We talked about this in game one. Try to find a way to get it around 10 or less by the fourth quarter. Give yourself a shot. They've got some work to do. Let's see if they can get it done.
Pike on defense to begin the second half. You saw Jeff Teague, their head coach. What a job he has done. Gone from 6-17 in his first year to 12-10 last year. And if they win this game tonight, they would go to 12-2 on the year. So if they win this one, they would have the same amount of wins so far this year than they had all of last season. So, and with still a ton of basketball to play before the playoffs begin. Open shot at the foul line to start the second half by Jeremiah Bellamy does not go down. And Bellamy had a decent first quarter, had 3 points when he came off the bench. Lob in to Hill, it hit the backboard, and what do we have? A foul from behind on Albert Gooden. And
they basically were saying he was holding him. You can make a case for that, I guess. What he was trying to do, they knew that the alley-oop play was coming. See, and he just basically tries to take him out of that.
Yep.
That's too much contact. You can't argue that call.
Davis to Miller, inside, miss. One of the few things he thought he was fouled, and the rebound was gathered in by Bellamy. Harris was open for a second, then got it inside, and Bellamy scores.
Yeah, good bounce pass. On the run, good bounce pass by Harris.
Lampley swings it high to Hill. It's not really, it'd be very uncharacteristic for him to shoot that. Not uncharacteristic, though, for TJ Davis. He's been firing it from all over the court, and he's got 10.
He's the guy really that's broke this thing open.
And then he steals it and fouled by Gooden. Then he kept up the tenacity on the other side, got the steal, and then Gooden fouls him.
Yeah, he's making a different type of play on a consistent base. Just hustle plays, effort plays. And if it wasn't enough, all the things we talked about at halftime that makes Pike so good, then you add really intensity from him and then good shots.
2 free throws for Davis, and he got the roll on that one. Pike is 7 of 9 as a team at the free throw line in this game. The Lawrence Central cheerleaders trying to rattle Davis. Doesn't work. He knocks it down. He's got 12, and the lead is back to 21 for Pike. That's been their biggest lead of the night.
John, you can see why Coach Teague likes to unleash him in a full court pressure man-to-man.
I'll talk about the offense of the 2 games we've had tonight. We've seen some stellar defense there.
We sure have.
Petty makes that shot sometimes, but not there, and Gooden is fouled again. He fouls Hill. You just feel bad for Albert Gooden. He's just outmatched against Isaiah Hill.
He's trying to muscle him, and that's not a bad strategy. You got to be just a little more, what's the right word there, John?
Subtle.
Okay, subtle's a great word. I'll use that one. You can't be so obvious.
Yeah.
You know, and he's doing everything he can, and to your point, clearly a mismatch. But if you're going to get that call, you can't make it quite so obvious.
They put Gooden on Miller now. Jumper off the mark from Landon Lampley. I don't know that Jeff Teague liked that shot. After the rebound, jump ball, possession arrow favors Pike this time. Of course, let's be honest, what hasn't favored Pike so far in this game? And Hill fires a 3 and hits!
There you go. You know when Hill's hitting the 3, it's probably not your day.
It's kind of like a couple of years ago when Zach Edey was playing for Purdue.
Yeah.
If Zach Edey was knocking down a 3, you knew it was really Purdue's night.
Yeah, that's very true.
Jump shot on the other side doesn't go down from Harris. He's averaging 16 a game normally, but he's got just 3 points tonight, just has not been able to get in rhythm. And Davis normally gets that one to go, but put it up a little bit too soft. Harris again tries and again cannot convert.
And just very few offensive rebounds by LC. Pike has absolutely dominated the glass.
Lob in for the dunk, and that's another nice play by Isaiah Hill. He's got 9 for the game, closing in on a double-double. Fired up here. And Lawrence Central is calling a timeout. This could get to the point of the game where things could get chippy. So
wow.
I think it's important that both coaches know we got to get off the court in situations like this. Don't need anything worse breaking out, but the transition offense and defense for the Pike Red Devils has been something else. The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, students excel in welcoming safe, state-of-the-art facilities. Boasting a 95% graduation rate, Lawrence Township's honors programs, career pathways, and dual credit opportunities prepare future leaders and workers on the court and in the arts. State champion students excel, driven by ambition and community spirit. Enroll now in Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future. Well, the folks at Lawrence Township have got to be loving what they're seeing, because Lawrence North put on a clinic in game 1 tonight, and here is Lawrence Central struggling, but they got to love that they're going to get at least one of their teams in. But you got to be so impressed too with what the Pike Red Devils have done.
Yeah, they're just, their roster's a different level.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't care how well you play, you're going to have to play an awful good game. And here's the other part: you got to be able to match up with it, because if you can't match at least somewhat either quickness or some length, that's a problem.
And they've tried. I mean, Coach Phil Washington for Lawrence Central has done everything he can to try to get the matchup he's wanted, but he just hasn't been able to find it. Hill just picked up his 3rd foul.
Yeah, but he's played a lot of minutes without it, and with the lead, it's not near as impactful, John, if they would have been able to get that 3rd foul much earlier than now. They're not even pull him out.
Nope. Gooden's got to find somebody. He does. It's Bellamy. Rejected by Hill. I mean, Hill's just like
fly swatter.
I mean, yeah.
It looks like volleyball.
It looks so easy for him. I mean, he's laughing and enjoying himself.
John, it looks so easy for him because it is.
Yep. Was he fouled? Oh my gosh, yes. TJ Davis can't believe it, and neither can Jeff Teague. They just called a foul on a 3-point shot, and that sends Caleb Wells to the line. And Davis just picked up his 3rd, so that's a Pike Red Devil starter with 3 fouls, the 2nd one to go along with Hill. Wells, free throw, got that. Wells is a pretty good free throw shooter on the season, 76%. But Lawrence Central struggles in that department as a team, 62% collectively. And they also aren't a great 3-point shooting team, 32% on the year. They have hit 5 threes in this game. And Wells able to knock down all 3. Lawrence Central trying full court pressure, really have no choice but to give it a shot, especially with the lead being what it is. Wells tries to take it away, nearly does, but it doesn't matter anyway because Pike turns it over. So the full court press helps cause the 6th turnover by the Red Devils. So you can imagine LC's probably gonna stick with that on defense. Harris hasn't scored since the 1st quarter. Bellamy left it short. Hill nearly got it. But if Hill gets one more block, he'll have a double-double.
Well, here's the thing. Blocks is a stat. Altering shots is not a stat. Deflecting shots is not a stat. And those are just as valuable as things as block shots. And he altered so many shots.
Getting in the way, too.
Yeah, it's a difference maker.
Petty tries to create, nothing there. To Gooden, back to Petty. Reverse layup off the mark. Gooden another rebound. In traffic he goes. And they're calling a foul on Pike here. I don't know. Said it was a foul on his stomach. Jeff Teague doesn't believe that either.
Who'd they get?
And they called that.
They got on 12. Well, I thought for a second they got Hill, but it wasn't. It was
Landon Lampley.
Lampley, that's his 2nd.
Team's 3rd in the period. Open 3 does not go down from Wells. And it was last touched by Lawrence Central. And there's another example of Hill just altering how that play ends up.
That's been that stat, because it's not a stat. If we kept track of all the things that he does around the rim, it would be a huge, huge stat.
Well, we do have to decide on a player of the game after it. Going to be kind of hard to figure out who, because you have Jahari Miller, who's got 15 points. Hill with a phenomenal evening. And Miller, speaking of, I mean, I know we talk about Hill and his size and what he's able to do, but I don't know who out there for Lawrence Central can guard Jahari Miller. They've thrown a lot of different guys at him.
It's one thing if you have one mismatch, but when you got 2 and 3, that's a complete other deal. And then you add Lampley with his size. And listen, Lampley, I'm impressed with Lampley and his ability, how he handles the ball at his size. That's huge.
Caleb Wells just picked up his 2nd, so now Lawrence Central's at the foul limit. They take out of the game Deron Harris, Albert Gooden, and Bellamy, and they put back in Ty Ferguson. And Miller with a rare misfire on both free throws, and they don't get the rebound.
You know, it's interesting, all the deflections that Hill gets, but how about all the deflections that TJ Davis gets? And he's only 5'7".
Yep.
He's had as much influence as anybody out there.
And Jeff Teague's not happy because his team could not get the ball in bounds, so they call a timeout, just a 30. And we'll go ahead and keep it right here. Again, Pike on the doorstep of a Marion County Tournament Championship game, and looking at a run there for them. They've certainly won this tournament several times over the years. And there was a stretch there where recently they won it from 2015 through 2017. They won this tournament 3 years in a row, but they haven't won it since 2017. And I got to tell you, I know Lawrence North is going to give them a heck of a fight tomorrow if they finish this out, but not only are they in good position to win this tournament, they're in position to do some serious damage after it.
No question about it. No question about it. But to that point, you know, LN at least is one of those teams that has matchup capabilities a little bit with Pike. Maybe not 100%, but they've got Miller in the middle too.
And Jahari Miller able to knock that one in off the inbound. Coach Phil Washington for Lawrence Central trying to say he pushed off. Refs don't see it that way. Petty has range, but after hitting that three in the first quarter, he's not been able to get anything to go down. Full court pressure, Pike breaks it, layup good.
That right there is an example of what I was talking about. Lampley handles the ball incredibly well.
Petty still not afraid to shoot it, but he misses yet another one. And then he steals the pass on the other side. 7 turnovers for Pike. Petty off the deflection, and yet another block by Hill. And he almost had 2 blocks in a sequence again. Davis lobs it up, dunk again, flushed down by Landon Lampley. And he's got 12 points. 58-29 Pike. Petty finally gets one to splash in.
Give Petty credit, John. He keeps trying. He's working his tail off. He has never stopped playing hard.
Well, you can't let that happen no matter how bad things get. And Petty just with his tenacity. And speaking of tenacity, TJ Davis also has got it. So here are the Pike double-figure scores. Miller's got 17. Davis has 14. And Lampley's got 12, and then a steal by Miller. Miller, he ducks it down. I guess, yeah, you'll count that as a dunk.
Yeah.
But they get caught napping, and a transition dunk the other way for Caleb Wells. Is this a basketball game or a track meet?
It broke out into about 3 different. It broke out into a volleyball game, transferred to a track meet.
And then Lampley is fouled as he's driving inside.
Wow, what do you think, John?
They foul this one on Gavin Petty. Petty with his first, but now Lawrence Central over the foul limit. And Hill coming out. Pike fans that are in attendance on both sides of the gym, loving what they're seeing. So Hill, Miller, and Davis, their night might be over here. Free throw, got it by Lampley. He's able to knock them both down. 64-34. The lead is now 30 for the Red Devils. It just keeps building. And then a foul on the other side. I think Landon Lampley got a little too much body English on that. And he just got whistled for his third. DJ Summers goes to the line to shoot 2. And Summers, who you mentioned, Jan, they were glad to get him back after he missed a few games with injury, but he's not been able to get on track.
No, and it may take him a few games to do that. He's been out for a little while. To play at this level is a different animal coming back from an injury. He's going to help him down the stretch for sure.
Summers got the second after missing the first, his first points of the evening. And a traveling violation on Ian Macon, just lost his balance. 8th turnover of the night on Pike. 6 for Lawrence Central. I mean, Lawrence Central's turnovers have not been a problem for them. It's not been that. It's been the other thing. The other things about just the matchups. Oh, I don't know. That looked like maybe a jump ball situation as Macon got his hands in there. But they say foul on him. Ron Harris comes in. Ty Ferguson checks out. Harris to inbound. Finds Stevens. Mid-range jumpers worked for him a few times tonight, but not there.
Yeah, but the problem for LC, little or no second chance points.
Yep.
They get one look and one look only.
Caden Dooley fouls Aiden Woods. Dooley with his second. So Pike now over the foul limit in the third. As Woods is able to make the first to give him his first point of the night. And buries the second. 66-35. What an offensive clinic by the Pike Red Devils.
No question about it.
But
no question.
But their defense has been equally impressive.
They don't have very many weak links in this chain.
Three up top by Summers, nowhere close. Rebound Macon. Out of bounds off of Pike. That's a turnover on them. And keep in mind, too, they only give up 56 points a game. They're only allowing 35. There is still another quarter to play. Summers tried to get it to Dooley, and Dooley's pass deflected out by Woods. And if you're Lawrence Central at this point, yeah, result might not be going your way, but you're playing for something more than just this game. Trying to play to a higher standard too. Summers tried to get it out to Harris. He missed the shot. And then on the other side, Washington gets the layup. He's having a heck of a night too. Got 7 points. It's Washington, Woods, Lampley. Also, both Lampleys, Kenneth and Landon out there.
Right.
And then Ian Macon, the other one. And that does it for the third quarter. And what a game it has been for the Pike Red Devils. Their starters sat most of that third quarter, and they built the lead up to 33. Fourth quarter coming next on the ISC Sports Network.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Well, the Pike Red Devils outscored Lawrence Central 25-11 in the first quarter, 17-13 in the second, and then 26-11 in the third quarter to build their lead up to 33 as we go to the fourth. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick, and I wonder, Jan, if we're going to see any of the starters for Pike in this fourth quarter. Looks like they are going to come out.
The answer to that is yes.
But the question is for how long,
I
too.
think, here's what people always ask about this. Actually, it's a really good question.
Yep.
We got a lot of games to be played, and part of the reason coaches don't just set people right now is they want them to understand how to play four quarters, regardless of what the lead is.
Yep.
This is about a bigger picture. There'll be games where the starters have to play a lot of minutes, and if they're always being taken out, their legs never really get accustomed to four quarters. So I don't think they'll probably play all of it, but they're at least going to start here.
Hill fouled from behind by Dayton Stevens. So it's funny how they tried. Hill, of course, thought, you know what, if I can turn around and get this dunk to go, wonder if they'll say I'm in the act of shooting. Lobs it to Hill off the inbound from Miller, and Hill attacks. Almost got a dunk. Stevens blocked it. And then a held ball. Possession arrow this time favors Lawrence Central.
Well, when Fishers beat Pike, the game was played at a much different pace.
Yeah.
This is a pace. If you we talked about this in the opening. You let Pike reach this pace, your chance of winning ain't very good. Because they play very well at this pace.
Floating jumper.
Nope.
That had to be offensive basket. Yep. Stevens trying to plead his case and say, no, I didn't touch it. It was already. You can see
close. Shot cam showed.
Yep, I think that was the correct call.
I believe it was.
And Stevens with another foul. I mean, Stevens is competing hard. I'll give him that. 7 points in the game, and there's nobody on Lawrence Central's team that really has any shot of guarding Isaiah Hill.
Not straight up. If you're going to guard him, you got to get help.
And Hill able to power his way up and in. He's got 11 points in this game and 10 blocks.
There are just certain things that 6'11" brings to the table.
Right. Wells with a nifty move.
Nice move.
Caleb Wells, the lone double-figure scorer for Lawrence Central with 12. Open three on the way by Washington. Saved from going out of bounds by Macon. Back to Hill. I think Hill's called for traveling there, yeah.
I will say this, from last year when I seen Hill to now, his aggressiveness has greatly enhanced.
Yeah.
I mean, the year of maturity has really proved him well.
Stevens fouled by Jahari Miller. Miller can't believe it. That's just his first. Also, too, keep in mind, next Friday, Pike is playing at Carmel. That will be a heck of a game.
That will be a good game, too. So they got some huge games, assuming they continue to win here and play all in. Then next week, Carmel, who's undefeated. Because Carmel's the masters at controlling the pace, especially in Carmel.
Yep.
So that'll be a dandy.
And another reason, to your point about Jan wanting to play 4 quarters, you're going to have a week off after this game.
That's true.
So you want to get as much time in an actual game in as you can. Stevens able to make 1 of 2 at the line, a 63% free throw shooter on the year. At the next opportunity, Albert Gooden will check back in for Lawrence Central. Washington draws a crowd and gets clobbered. This one is against CJ Summers, and he's got 4. Albert Gooden, the third, checks back in. Hill tries a 3, got it.
That's 2.
Nobody was, that was so weird. It was almost like, was he inbounds or did the play even start? And they said yes. So
2
Hill's
threes.
Double-double for Hill. Hill the rebound again off that miss. I think he's probably got a triple-double. Slashing in and scoring. Bobby Thomas, 5'10" junior guard who hasn't seen a ton of playing time this year. Just got his first bucket. I mean, the block party continues for Hill.
It does.
And the 3 on the other side, Bo Washington. Yet another double-figure score for Pike. He's now got 10, and their lead is 40. Well, as impressive as the first half was, the second half might be even more so. Nice job by Cade Dooley, knocking down his second 3. 6 points for him, and they are moving this to a full timeout. So we'll pause briefly and bring it back to the ball for the IHSAA.
In Lawrence Township, the choice is clear. From NACE-accredited early learning centers to comprehensive elementary programming built to support literacy, language, community, and STEM. A 96% graduation rate, with students engaged in pathways preparing for success in college, career, or military service. 50 state championships, and 7 national titles. In the classroom, the court, or on the stage, we produce winners. The choice is clear. Make LT your district of destination.
Well, one thing we were noticing during the huddle of this timeout that was called by Lawrence Central, so they've only got one timeout left. Looks like Isaiah Hill might be close to a record for blocks at Pike High School. We noticed that a couple of the guys in the huddle were saying one more. They might want to try to get Isaiah Hill a record of some kind. Unofficially, I have him for 12.
Well, even if he gets it, he's got another year, by the way. He'll break his own record.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really fall asleep because he ain't gonna break his record. But hey, listen, you work hard, you get those types of things, so good for him.
Yep. And who knows? He might set it tomorrow night. Kick out here. 3 on the way. Made by Ian Mason. And Aiden Woods who set him up with a nice dive. Ferguson tries a triple. Oh no, and Hill gets the rebound and goes down hard, and that's what you worry about.
If that's what you don't want.
Yep. I think with that, he got a triple-double, and I think that's why Hill happy with that. Hugs his coach, Jeff Teague. What a moment for him, and of course.
Did they give him a block on that?
I don't think they got him a block, but they were. It was the rebound. I think he was looking for. Yeah,
that wasn't blocked. He brought both down. He didn't know.
I think that did give him a triple-double.
That's what he was trying to do.
Woods slashes in and scores. Yeah. I'm going to just go out on a limb and guess that he's going to be our player tonight.
Triple-double. Wow. You don't hear it too often.
Being out there bench is Lawrence Central. Anthony Smith, the 6'5" senior, checks in. Also in for Pike is Luna Newman Wadaka. Wadaka's number 50 is red. He had a shot there, almost missed. Almost made it, I mean. And then he almost blocked that shot, but Ferguson was able to get it over him and score. First basket of the night for Ferguson, and then Bobby Thomas goes airborne for his second basket. Petty, he scored.
Well, you'll see. This is a teaching moment for him. Clearly the game isn't decided, but he's trying to get better.
Even more to their feet. Luna Newman Wadaka, 6'4" senior forward, picking up that basket. One of the 4 seniors on this team. That is making is whistling for that foul.
Boy, if you have any intention of coming and seeing a good game tomorrow, I'd highly advise it. And that's going to be a dandy. My Indy TV, I believe, as well as the IHSAA network. That'll be a dandy. That could be a preview, John, of something down the road, too. You never know.
Could be a sectional or a regional matchup. Who knows? Rare giveaway. 3 on the D-way the other side. Off the mark from and then Gavin Petty there for the follow. So Petty now in double figures with 10. Caleb Wells, leading scorer for Lawrence Central with 15.
You know, as much as this 87-point is really impressive, the 50 is just about as impressive, John, on both sides.
What a take. I would admire the effort there from Bobby Thomas. Smith, the layup there. At this point, he's trying to play it out. Lawrence Central never led in this game.
Now you think about it, with Hill in there for the tip, most games Pike's going to at least get the tip and not start off with the lead almost every game.
Smith commits the foul there. That is the 5th in the period on Lawrence Central, so free throws for Ian Baker.
Let's take a look at LC. Ward Central coming up at LC, Gary West at LC, and North Central they'll travel to. Those are 3 games that should be real competitive for LC. They should have a chance at all, though. Liberty Christian, Greenfield Central is 500, and then they play Bill Davis pretty good. Then guess what? They get to play Pike again. At Pike.
That will be tough.
But gotta play it. All part of the mid-conference, and then Carmel and Center Grove joining the MIC back. So it just got back even tougher.
Yeah, what a story that is. They get out of the MIC and they're coming back into the MIC. Wow.
Well, at the end of the day, regardless how it happened, the MIC's better with them being in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
They tried to get into the Region Crossroads, was denied, didn't without a conference. They just felt like that it makes more sense, and rightfully so, to get back in the MIC.
Floor in a hurry, 3 on the other way. Off the mark from Aiden Woods, fight for the rebound. Newman Wanaka touched it last. Lawrence Central basketball. Or was he fouled? They say he was.
I've been impressed by some teams throughout the year. LN was certainly one of those teams. But tonight's Pike performance probably raises to the top of the list. There was not, John, too many bad links in this chain. I mean, from top to bottom, pressure, inside, everything that they accomplished today was really, really good.
In and out on the second from Newman Wanaka. That last foul was on Dooley, by the way. 3, way short from Wells. 18 seconds to go. All Pike has to do is dribble out the clock. Petty obviously harassing him. And then Bobby Thomas tries to go for the layup. I know some people might not like that, the score being what it is, but Bobby Thomas is not a guy who gets a ton of playing time. He didn't come into the game until about the midway point of the 4th quarter, so these reserves are going to try to get every opportunity they can and soak it up. Thomas trying to get himself over his season average. He averages 4 points a game, and he had 4, now he's got 5. Jaw-jacking back and forth between these two teams. Thomas misses the second. Smith the rebound. The Pike Red Devils put on a clinic here at Southport, and they win the Marion County Tournament semifinal against Lawrence Central in about as dominant of a fashion as you'll ever see. 91-53, and they are now 12-2 on the year. Lawrence Central drops to 6-8. These two teams will play each other later in the season, coming up on February 17th. Pike plays Lawrence North for the Marion County Tournament title tomorrow night. Then those two teams will play each other again on February 20th. Jan, I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts about this one. Hard to summarize everything we saw because we saw a lot of big plays from a lot of people.
Yeah, well, everyone expected Pike to play well tonight, but I thought they took it up another notch. LC's a pretty good ball club, and Pike just, after they got going, there was no answer. So Pike has shown there's another level to what they can do.
Yes, and also too, Phil Washington, the head coach for Lawrence Central, with a moment there, shaking the hand of Isaiah Hill, saying, man, you are one heck of a basketball player. That guy really put pressure on them all night and was so impressive from start to finish. So the Pike Red Devils, with the victory, improved to 12-2 on the season. So great job by them. And our player of the game was, coincidentally, of course, Isaiah Hill, triple-double. And point-wise, he ended up with 14 points, 12 rebounds, and I believe 12 blocks. That is the official number for him. And our player of the game brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing, the big dog of the game. Brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. At LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, they know a thing or two about getting dirty and keeping things flowing. Hats off to Isaiah Hill, the big dog for leading the charge in this one. We also want to say thank you to Lori Law. Brady Laurie's been serving the citizens of Marion, Johnson, and surrounding counties for over 25 years. If you or someone you know is in criminal trouble or has been injured, make the call to Brady for a consultation. Let Brady put his negotiating skills and courtroom experience to work for you. Call 317-250-7783 or email bradyjlaurie@gmail.com. Brady Laurie, your criminal defense and personal injury trial lawyer. Our game tonight brought to you by Ed Martin Automotive Group. Ed Martin, the only name you need to know. Lawrence Township Schools. Learn more about Lawrence Excellence today at ltschools.org, and by LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing. It is Pike and Lawrence North in the Marion County Tournament Championship game tomorrow night. Greg Rakestraw, Mike Broughton will have the call for you. So long for this evening. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. You've been watching the ISC Sports Network.